Hello, my name is Robert J. Ray. I am the lead trainer for the Teens Professional Development Training process. I have 3 other trainers that help me do the training with the team. And what we're going to do, we're going to train teenagers to be counselors and therapists for other teens. We did this once before and it worked really wonderful. And this is what my campaign is about raising funds in order to open up my teen training center. And it's a professional development process which these teens learn how to reproduce so that they can train other teens to do it. So the teens today, they are so out of control and they lead such destructive lives until they need something really that will put them on a solid foundation. And that's what this professional development process will do. When I was working out at the prison, I was doing alcohol and drug sessions for the inmates out there. And one thing I found is that so many teens started getting in trouble when they were teens. And if they would have had a process, had understanding and awareness, which this professional development process, which they're going to be learning, if they would have had that, they wouldn't have got in jail or prison or in trouble in the beginning. It's what you call prevention. A lot of these guys are in their 20s, but they started getting in trouble when they was a teenager. So I said, once I leave the prison, I was going to try to get a place where I could train teens to do counseling and therapy and give this process to other teens. And this is what I intend to do in my campaign here. I just want to share with you some of the things that the teens is going to learn how to do. This first thing they do when they come in is they learn how to do didactic presentations on a marker board, and they learn how to give a didactic presentation. One of the first one will be the submerged aspects of alcoholism and drug addiction. This shows you that even though you can see the teen doing a lot of destructive things up above the surface, most of the things that victimize them and get them in real trouble is the stuff that's up under the surface, the stuff that you can't see, the personality traits, the emotional disturbances that's going on below the surface. Once they understand these things and know that they're not alone in that, then they can begin to grow. So this is just one. I'll just show you a couple of 2 or 3 here. The next one they would learn how to do is the effects of ethyl alcohol on the human body. Alcohol affects every organ in the body. And these teens don't know this. Just because they're drinking a beer, a wine cooler, they think there's nothing wrong with that. But once they learn that it has something in it called the C2H5OH, that's the chemical formula for ethyl alcohol. They learn these things, and then they can share these things with other teens. Therefore, the more knowledge that a teen have about drinking alcohol, the more they can choose not to drink it. So this is just if they will learn what happens to the alcohol when it goes when it first goes into your throat, down your esophagus, down into your stomach, and then what happens when it goes into the liver. And the liver is the only organ that can get rid of alcohol, and it gets rid of about 1/2 ounce per hour. So if you drink a half a pint of alcohol, it's going to take a long time to get that out of it. That's why so many people get caught with the DUIs and stuff. So this is one that they'll learn. They'll learn the type of alcohols, methyl, like a lot of poor countries use methyl alcohol to drink it, and they become blind by drinking that. So this is just more knowledge that the teen will learn how to reproduce and give to other teens. And one thing about it, teens receive better from other teens. They really do. Another session they will learn how to reproduce is called the Jellinek chart, which is the symptoms and phases of the disease of alcoholism. And the same phases and symptom is with every addiction out there. Gambling, food addiction, drug addiction, whatever. They go through these same phases. You have your contact phase, the first time you ever use that particular drug, and then you begin to use more. It takes more to get you your same effect that you did when you first started using it. Then that's called increased tolerance. Teens don't know this, but they will know it once they get this session. Then when you drink so much, you have a blackout, your first blackout. This is when you're doing things, you're walking around, you're doing things, but you won't ever remember doing them because your memory has flatlined. Once teens understand this, they know why they don't remember the next day what their friends told them they did the night before. Their first blackout. And then after this, you begin to have what you call loss of control over here, which means that when you get to a drink, one is too many and 1,000 not enough. You don't intend to drink that much tonight, but once you take that first drink, you can't stop. Then you continue to drink on and on and on until you begin to go through these other symptoms. So this is just 3 of the 12 didactic presentations that I will be training along with my team to other teens so that they can share these with teens that's unaware and don't understand what's happening to them. Now, after they learn how to do the didactic presentation, that means that these teens going to have a lot of knowledge, an ocean of knowledge about the alcohol, the alcoholic, and the disease of alcoholism and drug addiction. So now you go into something else which we call recognition reaction therapy. This is where the teen, now he's going to start giving stuff back to the counselor. And during this time, he will be committed to accept some norms that will carry him throughout the rest of his life. These norms is from 1 to 25, 0 to 25%. Number 1 norm is cork the jug. Up under that is alcoholism, addiction, withdrawal, and dependency. All that means is that if you got alcoholism in your family, if your daddy or your mother, if your uncles, and you have it in your family, you have to watch that. If you intend to drink alcohol, you have to watch this. Addictions mean you might be a smoker. You might be smoking marijuana. This time you will be able to have encouragement and support in dealing with these addictions. Withdrawal. That's when you go back into yourself. You get angry into your feelings. You may go up in your room and stay for a couple of days. That's withdrawal. That's destructive. You will learn how not to do that and how to prevent yourself from getting into withdrawal in the first place. Then you have dependence. That means that you can't depend on other people to do for you. If you got to be someplace, if you need to get up at a certain time, then this is what you need to take responsibility for. You can be interdependent with other people, but you can't be dependent on other people to do it for you. You've got to do that. That's the number 1 norm. And if you get everything right in that, then you get 0 to 25%. You get 25%. Then the next number 2 norm is be here on time. Teens don't really value being places on time. They think it's fashionable to be late, but it's destructive to be late. If you go to a job interview, and if you get there ahead of time, you may, like I've got a lot of jobs by being there ahead of time and see who's going to do the interview. I may get a chance to chit-chat with that interviewer and get a relationship going before I even had the interview. Sometimes I had the job before any of the other people even got there. But they just went through the motions. But they told me to show up such a time and be ready for training or to go to work just because I was there on time. I'm never late. Everywhere I go, I'm always ahead of time. And this is a good pattern that you're going to pick up. This is going to be one of your norms. That will be 0 to 25%. 0 to 25% financial. You say, well, why financial? It's because you've got to learn how to use money. Not to just go out and spend it when you get it, but to use it as a tool. This is what money is for. If you get an allowance, if you got a job, you're making money, you pay what you committed to pay, and then you put some back in the bank for a rainy day, and you learn how to use your finances, because the more money that you come in contact with, the more you're going to have to learn how to use it, not just go out and spend it. Then number 4 norm is eat a high-protein breakfast. So many teens do not eat breakfast at all. They just go out, they just get up in the morning, throw their clothes on, maybe grab a pop or something like that, and then head out for school, this is not good, because when you break fast, your blood sugar level is low. When you eat breakfast, that raises your blood sugar level up to where now you can learn, you can listen, you can be still. You don't be in there, your stomach doesn't start to growl when you're halfway through your morning class. And then once that happens, then your blood sugar is low, you can't comprehend as much. This is why it was so good when they started the breakfast program, because at least if the kid gets a breakfast, he can begin to learn. Now, in session 1,